Let's try this again. Alright, this time I wrote down patterns that I saw him using last time. Went through the recording, made sure of that stuff. And of course I didn't actually get to find out what it was on this one. Great, okay. Okay, so he's gonna judge it by one of the ones I did see. Hope this works out. Nope. That worked better than I was expecting. Alright, guard is the third one. I got one that from the old list. That was what it was. Guard. So this works. Damn. Just trading blows. Finish him off. Break is the third one, just in case. I only have one that's like that, so. Okay, good. He's dead. Took me a few days to motivate myself to actually going back through all that again. But because of how much of a pain in the ass it is to deal with Assassin without knowing all his attack patterns. Okay, cool. Now we can make actual progress. Let's see, Blazing Soul, starts of attack, ends of attack. So that should be guard, buster. At the very least, I was able to just go right through my recording to just take a look at the chains and just fix them up if I needed to. I'm starting to think that some of them can have more than 6 attack patterns. Don't know offhand or anything of that sort, unfortunately. I fought this Birdman before. That's a sand. No, I have not fought this one. Let me write down its name. Sandstorm. Okay. Great, I know nothing about this one. Blank, Buster, Break. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Shoot. Let's just do all attack. Alright. What was that? Heal first, okay, so attacks second. Okay, I don't know it. This one. Blank, attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it uses guards or busters a lot, it seems. Shoot, okay. Wait. These things usually have a pattern of they do the same thing twice. Buster, attack.
たまに勝利を期待に応えよう。返上するぞ。させぬ古いな。
Yep, okay. That's right. So their patterns are not that hard to read. Oh, right, that lobster, right. Okay, so guard is the two middle ones. I wrote down wrong on the first one. Okay, let's see. Let's go in the opposite direction. That would mean Buster, but that would be like. I'm trying to think. Damn it. It goes like that. And there should be guard, Buster. Attack maybe? Nope. Other way. Four. Okay. So it usually goes in this direction, maybe? Which I mean, if it's doing break, that means this should be attack, so it should be like that, maybe? No. It doesn't have a pattern. So it's mostly about guessing. This probably has a variation for every single one of those. Okay, so attack. I'm a little bit worried about that one. Looks big and nasty and mean. Let's continue for right now until I can decide what I want to do with it. Because, you know, if I die, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so I know what it's doing. So this should be... Or not. Okay, I guess it doesn't use one of each type. Good to know. Oh, there's another one over there. I don't know that thing's attack pattern though. And I could technically leave. I do have a full day. Not yet. You have a full day that I can fight and grind those things. I killed the rare thing, assuming that those things only stick around for one day anyways. There's no option to run from these things, so we're just going to... Oof. Grab all the treasures I can. I got the lobster, so that was probably the most important one. So just heal up, save, make sure everything's all nice and good. We can do the final bit of grinding for the last day. Part of me wants to try them. Even though I know it's probably going to be suicide. gonna do it. That's how they. Oh, it's just a golem. Golem. Wait. Buster. No, attack. It's either gonna guard or it's gonna. Ah! Nope. No. Stick with that skill. I'll break. And, heal here. Ooh, that's a lot of experience. Oh, right, that trigger. I totally forgot about that thing. We triggered both triggers. Can't wait to see their faces when we arrive at the Coliseum. Make sure I eat enough to be able to heal her in case of an emergency. Heal costs 40, of course it does. Whatever, I bought all this bread just to be eaten anyways. Alright, good enough. Let's ignore that one for right now. The other side that I skipped. Oh, of course. So break is its last thing. Okay, so let's just try attack. Guard. Yeah, why not? Oh, good. I guessed right. That went well. Not to gain a level, anyways. Yeah, whatever. Prioritize just exploring the rest of this place first. Versus grinding and beating things up. I can always do that the next day. Once I have a nice save in place. So I guess the next time I come in here, it's grind time. I'm getting a lot of experience points so I can gain in multiple levels in this process. Get out of here. Good, I got everything. Okay, saying strike isn't needed. Up to obfuscation. A skill used to completely conceal one's presence. Although this ability allows the user to become almost completely invisible, the sheer amount of magical energy required almost screams out that some kind of thaumaturgy is being used. Should this person's opponent be a skilled magus, their presence would be noticeable in some extrasensory fashion. There is a way to achieve this state of being without the use of any kind of magical aid and using only abilities inherent within one's own physical form, but the level of concentration required for it is far beyond what humans are capable of. While a common skill of all servants of the assassin class, the level at which he is able to go almost completely obscure his presence goes far above the limits normally associated with this ability. Technique in which one uses their chi to blend in with the whole of their surroundings. For matters of the ability, it's possible for them to truly become one with the world and have their very forms seem to become invisible. Yup. Yesterday's plan succeeded, and the form of Julius' servant was finally revealed. He obfuscates his presence by going seemingly invisible by melting into his environment. Now I know how he does it, but I don't know if I can win. Today's the last day of the prep period. Tomorrow I'll settle the score with Julius. I should do everything I can so that I have no regrets. I'm also worried about Ronnie. I had to thank her for yesterday. Yeah, same thing as usual. You may have to use your noble phantasm soon. If not, your battles from here on out will be pretty difficult. Once your servant decides to use their noble phantasm on their own, you must ease them into the idea. If the timing's off, all that will be accomplished is revealing the servant's true identity. Be careful when you use it. Martial artists who perfected the art of concealment, there are very few people who've managed that. As I continue reading about martial arts masters, I come across information regarding concealment. Concealment, a very powerful technique that only a handful of warriors, most notably Baiji Quan masters of the Qing dynasty, were able to master. By harnessing their vital energy, masters of this technique were able to make themselves one with both heaven and earth. Doing this allowed them to effectively fade into the background, making them invisible. Baiji Quan, that might be the fighting style that Julius' servant uses. Considering the uniqueness of its form and its characteristic heavy blows, I'm probably not too far off. Beating it will be a challenge, but this knowledge will help. All I can do now is trust in my servant's power. Hello, I'm glad things went well for you yesterday. It was all thanks to Ronnie. After hearing her pained voice yesterday, I'm worried about her. It did devolve into a fight, but I did what was needed. Don't fret, my injury is minor. Injury? I shouldn't have let her put herself in harm's way. Once again, do not worry. The Scorpion saw me as a nuisance, barely worthy of notice. On second thought, I wonder why he let me live. He must have seen me as a threat of some kind. But enough about me. Did you learn anything about the servant from seeing his form? Julius' servant. I didn't uncover his identity, but I was able to break through his nigh-perfect ability to hide his presence by throwing his chi into disarray. I see. A practitioner of Kung Fu. If his master of concealment is so advanced, he might be a master. I'm fairly certain that Julius' servant may be a legendary soul with such a background. A Kung Fu master. That would explain his fighting style. If his mastery of Kung Fu is that advanced, it should make it easier to discern his identity. Today's your last day to prepare, so be careful. The Scorpion will be at his most cautious now. Ronnie is right. Today's my last day to prepare. I better make the most of it. Train in the arena, then head to the chapel. There's so much I need to do. Okay, go upstairs. First floor. Tigers Is he here? Oh, Green's here too. So this legendary delicacy known as the mighty lobster. I'll be sure to savor it. To commemorate this moment, allow me to give you my priced tea service. Looks like I'll be eating well tonight. You better hurry home and see what I've been missing. How should I say this? You may have become a powerful master, but you're still vulnerable. What is it you're lacking? Is it sufficient preparation, or is it toxicity of information? What is it with her? Every time I see her, she immediately starts lambasting me without any warning whatsoever. If I weren't so numb to my situation, I'd probably go back to my room and sob in humiliation. Numb. Try blissfully ignorant. It'd be more accurate. Anyway, Hakuno, I have time on my hands, so if you want to ask something, do so now. Of course, I'll only answer questions that pertain to being a master. I normally can't be bothered with things like this, but I'm feeling generous, so ask away. Although I'm a little wary of her offer to help, the opportunity is too good to pass up. Then she's actually being nice. For her, anyway. So, let me see. I want to know how she feels about the nature of the Holy Grail War. Not the system per se, but the fact you have to kill to live. Huh? I'm honestly surprised you're still hung up on that. I can tell you're still in shock that people are dying in the Holy Grail War. I wonder if it could be that your entire view of the Holy Grail War is completely wrong. While I agree the conditions are severe, I cannot say that they are unreasonable. Everything has its limits. The land, resources, reputation, even time itself is finite. Everyone has different goals, and the resources to fulfill them are limited, which leads to conflict. To have your wish granted, another's wish must be denied. That's the way of the world. The rules found here in Seraph are simple compared to those that govern the real world. I mean, in the real world, innocent bystanders are frequently victims of the fighting around them. Compared to that, the terms of the Holy Grail War are quite fair. I'd go so far as to say moral. The motivation and the consequences are made clear, and there are no innocents here. The backgrounds are probably totally different, so my reasoning might not make sense to you. And don't forget that conflict between individuals is not necessarily a bad thing. Understand your foe to win, anticipate your opponent to win, respect your opponent to win. These are three things that I consider to be the essence of the Holy Grail of the Grail War. How this reality came to be the Holy Grail War, I honestly couldn't tell you. I personally think the system was created for the purpose of better understanding mankind. So is there anything else you'd like to ask? I want to ask about the fate of the world, because I have no memories of the past, or what it's like on Earth. Everything is a mystery to me. It seems that even after being told, nothing really registered with you. It's obvious that you still have no idea what the state the real world is in. Let me try to explain again from a different angle. The world is doomed to wither and die. It's not going to happen right away, of course. There's no easy identifiable danger to prevent. If there's a global catastrophe, there was a global catastrophe 30 years ago, but it actually helped stabilize the population. However, with the massive loss of life, all progress came to a crashing halt. There was no war, no famine, no poverty, but there was no advancement, only stasis. New discoveries, scientific breakthroughs, and even space travel have all come to a standstill. Mankind has yet to even explore the moon. History itself has somehow been corrupted. Since the near extinction of mankind, human society has stagnated, like water in a marsh. The Harley family wants to keep the status quo, and it is easier to maintain than change. That may work in the short term, but resource scarcity and environmental decay isn't far off. Like walking down the incline, it's only really noticeable if you look ahead instead of at your own feet. And if the incline was endless, then there's no hope at the end. Would you keep going? I don't hold to that fatalistic view. It's why I'm here, to fight against a hopeless future, to defeat the short-sighted plutocrats who would allow the world to rot away, namely the Harways. Oh, I'm not saying I should win because of my desire to save the world. The value of a person's wish isn't determined by its grandeur or its intent. Everyone has their own reasons for entering. I just thought I'd share mine with you. No, good. I don't really have anything in particular to ask. Sorry if you think I was wasting your time. So, well, if you say so, I'm surprised at your diligence, to be honest. If I ask anything stupid, I'd get ripped apart. Silence is sometimes the best choice. Oh, you're busy? I'm sorry for holding you up. I take it you're going to the arena? Be careful. As she watches me go, she raises her hand and waves at me. That was totally unexpected. Could today be the one day of the year Reen is actually in a good mood? Check outside first. Got anything for me, Toko? Nope. Like game 1 level. Well, putting in points to stat. Get my defense up a little higher. I think I might need to get my luck up a little bit, because I know who my next opponent is, and I'm not sure if luck affects this Noble Phantasm or not. Okay. I'll increase my defense for the moment, though. I might... Okay. I might try to level up luck a little bit with some extra points, potentially. We'll see. Because I'm a little wary. Let's see. Her new skill that she just got. Fountain Chronos. Inflict stun on an enemy when using guard. Winning tomorrow will get you into the semifinals. Now's definitely not the time to relax. It may be hard to believe, but I think the reality of this place is just starting to set in. Okay, check the commissionary. Anything good down here? Whirled around the campfires that Sakura Mato made lunches for all the masters last round. Wish I could have got my hands on one. Are they as good as people say? Let's see, I doubt that there's... Nope. Not as much. Oh, okay, I got 20 of those. I think I should be fine on that. Seem pretty confident and ready to face what's coming. Even your servant seems at 100%. Honestly, I've never even been entertained the possibility of you defeating Kuzuki, but the more I think on it, the more I begin to feel that you're the one I should be worried about. Alright. Let's save real quick, go into the arena, grind a bit. What will it do on this file? Next save file, I'll just have in the separate one just in case I need to grind a little more. Okay. Her voice is quiet. I've never seen Saber so serious and sincere as she is now. Her diamond bright eyes cut into mine as she announces she desires to entrust her finest weapon to me.
次こそキャツラとの決戦になる。透明化を封じたと言っても勝算は未だ低い。これはそなたの問題ではない。そなたは十分に育った。剣として劣っているのは世の方だ。よって次の戦いで宝具を開示したい。最後の相手まで温存すると言ったのは世だが、それもここまで。世は全力をもって暗殺者を打倒する。そしてその時こそそなたは世の神明を知ることになろう。そうだな。宝具を明かすは神明をも明かすこと。それを避けていたのは単に我が悪名をそなたに知られるのが怖かっただけなのかもしれない。だがその恐れすら今はない。そなたならば我が神明を知った上でも共に戦ってくれると信じている。
And then Saber tells me the name of her noble phantasm. Noble phantasms are voice activated, and the name itself reveals a lot about a legendary soul. When Saber uses her noble phantasm, her identity will be laid bare.
キャツとの決戦時、いつ解放するかはそなたに任せた。だからそれまでは口にせず、世の神明を知ることもしないでほしい。すべては決戦の後、勝利を迎えた後に世の名前を語るとしよ
う。Right. Like using Codecast, press square when in battle to use your servant's noble phantasm. Saber's noble phantasm, Theodora the Deranged, can be used after the 4th turn of the battle. Once used, your opponent will take damage, and their strength and endurance will weaken over the course of 3 turns. Also, your servant's noble phantasm can only be used in battle once. Be sure to use it to your greatest advantage. Alright, I gained 2 levels. It should be good enough. Hopefully. Oh, I saved over the file that I didn't want to do. Oh well, whatever. Today's the elimination battle. In case you forgot, come to the first floor when you're ready. After delivering his reminder, Konomine leaves. The elimination battle's here. I'm about to face my strongest opponent yet. I'll make some final preparations. That means getting outfitted in the commissary and sorting out information in my room. My enemy is strong, the strongest yet without a doubt. Why is it showing it like that? At least if I piece together the information I know, I might survive a little longer against him. Julius Belkis Haraway is the Haraway's family assassin, as an enemy since day 1. Saber was fooled by his servant's ability to enlarge his body. Julius' servant can obfuscate his presence, which allowed him to take out Saber in 1 blow. Then Julius' servant attacked us again, and Saber saw through it. The attack was... That was magic, sorry. Right, from his attack I deduced the enemy used a special form of martial arts. After witnessing him in action, I have no doubt he's a master. In 1 blow, he skews his target's nervous and circulatory systems as well as their magic circuits. Julius' servant claimed that his technique was so effective that his second strike was needless. For anyone unable to sense his presence, that could indeed be a one-hit KO. To get around his invisibility, we set up traps to disable it. Thanks to the traps, we learned the source of his invisibility was... Right, it was Bajiquan technique based on becoming one with the universe, called concealment. It's also a sign that Julius' servant reached a level of kung fu that few martial artists ever do. In other words, Julius' servant was a kung fu master. There's only one kung fu master in history that claimed that he needed no second strike. Li Shuwen, called the master of the demon fist, he was both valorous martial arts and assassin. Julius was a professional assassin. He knows a heck of a lot more about killing than I do. On top of that, his servant was a martial arts master. They're a match made in heaven. Wonder how long I'll last against the 2 of them. Anything new, Saber?
ついに世と同格の無駄遣いっぷりに至ったか。我が奏者ながら見事である。仮に世とそなたが婚姻した場合、この国は滅びるであろう。というか、世は滅ぼした。これでまた一つ世とそなたの絆が増えたな。そなたを見習って世もスキルの消費魔力を増やしてみよう。何、その分威力は増す。 そなたは気にせず懲りずにガンガンアイテムを世に貢ぐがよい。
Okay. Okay, so that's what eating a lot of, using up a lot of items does. Okay. I guess all I'm missing is the rare enemy thingy. Check the commissionary first. See if there's anything I might want. I think I might be in good supply of pretty much everything right now. Looks that way. Stop by the chapel since I gained 2 levels. Fabulous. That's at least B rank. That should be good for now. Let's pop up agility. Yeah, let's pop up agility for right now.
如実に強く
Okay. Save real quick so I don't have to do that again. Enter the Coliseum, Bozing Master, etc., etc. They always say the same thing. Even after all those attacks, the fire inside you still seems to be burning brightly. What a pleasant surprise. You improved much since we last met in that sealed space. Assassin, please refrain from idle banter. Relax, I was just making conversation. Getting to know your opponent is the ultimate luxury. My foes usually crumble from a single blow of my fist, so I find this Holy Grail war to be truly enjoyable. Originally, the martial arts were a fight for one's life, with the weight of the years behind one's fist. The opportunity for 2 people to face each other and try to crush each other's lives comes but rarely. Wouldn't you agree with me? Anyway, it looks like you have something you'd like to say to my master. The master of concealment and the strongest martial arts artist of all time must have saw something in my mane. There's definitely something I want to say to Julius, to whom I have several mysterious connections to, but... For what purpose? Seeing to it that Leo makes his way to the Holy Grail safely. That is my purpose. Of course, if I achieve my goal, then the ends justify the means. Your hypocrisy is appalling, boy. Do you think that you have remained untainted through all this? If you believe that, look upon the path you traveled and how bodies you left behind. Regardless, your path ends here. I'll soon put an end to all this unpleasantness. I probably should have picked some other option, but whatever. A low roar begins to sound as the elevator comes to a halt. Enough of this meaningless talk. Let us go, assassin. Understood, there's only a few battles remaining. Let's make the most of the ones that lie ahead. And once in a movement, the man clad in all black turns around. Those dark, merciless eyes that used to scare the hell out of me. They no longer have any effect. Meeting his gaze, I step into the Coliseum. It sees my blood and my flesh. Martial arts flourish near death. I shed the complacency of earlier and have been born anew, thirsting for blood, like the Kyuki. Yes, it's like I've become young again. You're strong, stronger than any enemy so far. Now let's compare our strengths. Show me what lies beyond perfection. Wolf, your sheep's clothing has peeled off. Now you would be more suitable for another class. Indeed, you do better not to restrain yourself to your delicate master's limits. You are weaker than a traitor's king manservant before the emperor, weaker than a candle's flame hand. You say you're an assassin, but that is in my domain. My life was riddled with conspiracy. Let's do it. Indeed, my fist needs no second strike. If you could defeat us, in one strike you'll understand my martial arts prowess.
Master.
さて、どこを壊していいものやら。
恐るべきアンサーしちゃう。
Just knowing what his first skill is.
ここで立つ。
大きく出たなセイバー。これは楽しみだ。幕だ。犬のように死ね。
Finish the plot. Yeah, okay. It's probably gonna go pretty badly. Should probably write down his stuff, 1, 2, 3, just in case. You know, if I lose, then I can at least use it as notes.
ミューズの加護を至高の芸術を守りたまえ。
死は式を収めるか。
Oh.
思考を噴血。
程度があろう。
死ね
そこを動くな。さて出直せ。硬いな。
謙虚はわしより。
聞いたぞ。
Worked better than I was expecting.
どうやって生き延びた。
Maybe. Okay. So this goes well.
共に勝利を。答えよ。
死は式を収めるか。
さて出直せ。硬いな。
あがくな。
生きるがよい。程度があろう。
That worked better than I was expecting. Oh, code cast.
少し遊ぶか。義にはどこまで行っても仁義だ。終わりにしろ。
I know what he did last time, so I'm kind of worried he's going to do that shit, pull that shit again. We'll use Thunderous Applause, heal, and then match his attack. Unless Remedy fixes that, which I probably should have tried. I didn't even write down that attack pattern now that I think about it. Okay, so it looks like every single time he starts with a skill. It's interesting to note. Okay, she can guard again. That's good. Let's see. Let's match his skill. Let's see, what is he doing this turn? This is going much better than I was expecting. Also, I did not write down the attack patterns for that. Whatever. Alright, I can use her null phantasm now. Oh, damn, I should have figured he was gonna do this. Owie. Probably dead. This might finish him off right here. Of course he guarded it. The battle has been decided. The famed warrior of the fist walks to Julius' side as he speaks. The black-clad harbinger of death has fallen onto one knee and crouches on the ground. Julius, I won't insult you with excuses, but I will give you my thanks. It's been a long time since I've been in the world. Thanks to you, I was able to fight in it again. The command seal on Julius' hand flashes red and starts to vanish. You've reached your final moment. Raise your head. What's wrong, Julius? I can't die yet. A scream that sounds like it's been wrenched from his heart echoes in the chamber. What are you? I cannot die like this. He clasps his hands together as if in prayer and continues to deliriously scream. I don't know if the strange light in his cold eyes is blazed with madness or what. Julius begins reciting words that sound like a code or spell in an anguished tone. His reckless opposition to the system causes him so much pain that he can't stop screaming. Knees bent and face twisted in pain from defiance, he nevertheless faces imminent deletion. It's a shamefully uncharacteristic display of desperation, and then... the look in his eyes as he throws his head back and cries out is pure madness. After the flashlight, the two of them have disappeared without a trace. I wonder what happened to Julius. I have no idea. All I know is that he's gone. That means I'm the winner of the 5th round. I'm starting to feel like the end of the end goal is in sight. For a change, I feel invigorated. As I return to the school building from the battlefield, I close my eyes and empty my exhausted mind. The thrill of victory, the agony of Julius' scream, and the sense of lingering presence, all gone. Suddenly I notice there's a person in front of me. It's Leo. I just defeated Julius, his brother. It only makes sense that Leo would be here. He would want to know the results of the battle. I didn't expect you to defeat my brother. I'm shocked, honestly. This changes my opinion of you. You are strong. I see that now. Leo's voice is so detached, it's not betraying any emotion. As far as I can tell, he doesn't seem to be harboring any feelings of revenge, hate, or the like. I'm not sure I should ask, but I can't stop myself. That's an odd question. Why would I resent you? People die in battles. This time around, it just happened to be my older brother. That's all. The only noteworthy thing is that you exceeded my expectations. To think his words are sincere. Leo's tone of voice, body language, and facial expressions back up what he's saying. The only thing that's different is that I see you in a changed light. I can finally see you for what you are, a fine and proper enemy. So much heat in that gaze. Leo just softly smiled like usual, but this time, what is this? I don't want to stay here anymore. I don't want to face Leo anymore. It's just as if his eyes were the sun, gentle yet searing. Like my skin is being burnt away. Leo's emotions really did change. He's never shown that much emotion before. Why did he choose to show it to me, of all people? Me as stranger. Me as future enemy. That's right, perhaps he'll end up being my final opponent. Huh, that's sort of exciting. I look forward to it if that happens. Well then, I look forward to when we meet you on the battlefield. That said, Leo left. As soon as he was gone, my back tingled. When I check it out, I find my clothes are sticking to the sweat on my back. Leo is as unrelenting as Julius, if not as obviously sinister. It's like the north wind and the sun. I feel like Leo is more advanced than me for sure. The sun sits in the sky as king of the world, the chosen one. I've never felt about how far away it is before, hopelessly far. But eventually I have to reach out and fight it, because only one person can obtain the Holy Grail.
世のドムス・アウレアを開いたのだ。マスターであるそなたはもう知っているとは思うが、改めて名乗ろう。世の神名はネロ。ネロ・クラウディウス・カエサル・アウグストゥス・ゲルマニクスである。
I can't hide my astonishment when she repeats her name. Nero Claudius. Fifth Emperor of the Roman Empire, a decadent pirate who indulged in every luxury and pleasure. A deliverance artist who persecuted Christians and tried to disassemble the core of Rome, the Senate. As a result, Nero was accused of treason, abdicated the throne, and ran off to commit suicide. How could Emperor Nero, who met such a pathetic end, be the same person as this girl? Or could it be that I don't want to imagine her being in such despair that she would take her own life?
そなたは本当に隠し事ができぬな。よい。考えていることは大体わかる。世は確かに暴君であり、多くの命を摘み、その末路にふさわしい醜悪な最後を迎えた。それも事実だ。否定はせん。だが何恥じるところはない。
It's funny because all other adaptions of her make her out as she never did anything, she was perfect in everything else. But that's probably because of who's writing for her these days.
世は最後まで世として生きた。それが全てだ。後悔はあれ、否定などするものか。
She's just so strong. Her heart doesn't waver, totally unlike mine. Anyway, whatever happened to save her not wanting to let me know about her bad reputation?
それはそなたにだけだ。他の奴らが何を思うと世には届かぬわ。
Saber clears her throat with a loud cough and straightens herself up. The girl whose small body bore the burden of an empire at age 17 places a hand to her chest, as if checking her heart.
奏者よ、そなたが世を暴君とバビロンの養父とそしるのならば、それも構わぬ。なぜなら、どうあっても世はそなたが好きだ。そなたに嫌われるのは辛いが、仮にそうであるのなら愛されるよう励むだけのこと。本当に辛いが、そこは我慢しなくてはな。見ているがいい。いずれ必ずそなたの心を奪ってみせる。
Saber squeezes her fist firmly in declaration. She looks like a child who's trying really, really hard not to cry.
なぜ笑う。とにかく世は名乗ったからな。悪名高いとはいえ、皇帝は皇帝なのだ。これからも敬い、最良のサーバントとして頼りにするがよい。
As part of history, her life has been criticized for millennia. However, she is not ashamed. Saber is unerringly proud. Because no matter what sort of life she led, it was the one that she embraced grandly, and therefore it could never be unsightly. That's true. When I first met Saber, I was gasping for life on the floor, thinking I can't die yet, but she looked at me proudly. She embraced me in my situation. She offered her hand to me, and came to the aid of my spirit. Though it feels so long since we met, the memory is vivid. So what if she's got a bad rep and thinks she's whatever of Babylon? Doesn't matter. I mean, no matter what Saber's name or past might be, her pride and confidence are unshakable.
そうか。では、今度こそ礼を口にしよう。ありがとう、マスター。世は嬉しい。その信頼、最後まで守りきってみせる。
Alright. Li Shuwen's blows are almost always fatal, whether he throws a hard blow designed to kill or a simple feint to draw his opponent to attack. A saying that has managed to survive the passing of years is, for Li Shuwen, a second strike is needless. It is saying from which his noble phantasm gets its name. To be accurate, it isn't a noble phantasm in the traditional sense of the term. Rather, it is the ultimate expression of true power possible by mastering the martial arts. Li Shuwen is considered to be one of the very few to have gained total mastery over his style, and in fact was believed to have transcended the need for physical attacks, instead defeating his opponents by engulfing them in chi. There is much debate whether Li Shuwen actually uses chi to defeat his opponents, although the very few who have managed to survive a confrontation with him report suffering all of the effects associated with this type of attack. such as obscured senses, heightened sense of paranoia, the feeling that their nervous system was under almost unendurable strain. A Chinese meditative ideal, it is believed that true mastery of martial arts comes not through training but acceptance. As this technique is extremely difficult to understand, let alone master, it is only when achieving the rank of A that one is thought to have actually begin to learn. Those with ranks exceeding A are considered true masters of the art. 1984 to 1934. Oh, okay. A Chinese martial arts master from Yanshan County. Yeah, I'm not good at pronouncing Chinese. One of the foremost practitioners of the style, known as Baji Quan, he was so powerful that many remarked him, with a single strike is needless as long as a single blow will suffice. In addition to his skills in hand-to-hand combat, he was also extremely talented with the use of a spear, so much that he earned the name Divine Spear Li. His occasional use of weapons sometimes causes opponents to mistakenly classify as Lancer. Well, he is a Lancer in Fate Grand Order. I have him, but yeah. While this wouldn't be normally entirely incorrect, due to his master's desire for stealthy servant capable of killing from the shadows, the traits more associated with the assassin class have come to fore. On a final note, since his ability to become invisible is based on natural abilities and not on any form of thaumaturgy, he is all but undetectable to the vast majority of magi or anyone dependent on magic. Li Shuwen, master of the Demon Fist, one of the few undisputed masters of martial arts. He maintains a delicate balance between the innate goodness and inherent evil found in all men. He fell victim to poison after earning the undying hatred of countless families and those he had killed. As a servant, the balance he maintained in life has slipped slightly. He still values rationality greatly. While he does not see much difference between good and evil, he will react with disgust and utter contempt for those who stray from rational thinking, and those who allow what Christians call the 7 deadly sins to overwhelm their lives. He brings swift and inevitable death. Although he was known as a deadly fighter throughout his life, in his later years he discovered that true power lay not in the strength of his fists, but in the strength of his convictions. He spent the remainder of his life following the path of valor, not violence. He freely acknowledges that in his current incarnation he is nothing more than a professional killer, but does so without bitterness or regret. Although he uses his powers as Julius directs, could it be that... I'll go look at Saber while we're here. Okay, a theater based on the Palace Nero built after her original one burned to the ground. Called Dominus Aurea, it is a grand villa built upon the ruins of the homes of the aristocracy that once covered the famed Esquiline Hill. Historical accounts paint Nero as somewhat delusional, and she herself claimed that she was an artist and performer of such incredible gifts that only the god Apollo could match her skills. She would often perform for the masses, but those spectators would frequently leave midway through her performances. She was so enraged by this obvious act of disrespect that she would order all entrances in the theater in which she was performing to be sealed until the final curtain fell. This old phantasm is based on the highest and most difficult principles of thaumaturgy and superficially resembles a reality marvel, though its effects are far more pronounced. It creates a reality in which one's imperial aspirations can be fully realized. July 19th, 64 AD, a devastating fire erupted in one of the poorer districts of Rome and quickly spread throughout the city, reducing most of it to ashes. Contrary to popular belief, Nero quickly responded to the disaster and even contributed to relief efforts out of her own personal funds. While she became immensely popular with the common citizenry, her populist policies, combined with her sometimes bizarre predilections, earned her the ire of not only the higher caste, but also historians who insist on painting her as a tyrant. Nero reigned as an emperor during the years of 54 to 68 AD, although most surviving contemporary accounts paint her as a vicious tyrant who disregarded the Senate and violently oppressed the nascent Christian movement. Many scholars believe that these accounts were an attempt to discredit her, as she was incredibly popular with the citizenry. Wherever the case, her infamy is such that some theorize that the Book of Revelations found in the Vulgate Bible was written as a commentary on and reaction to her supposed repression of the Christian faith, and have gone so far as to make the case that the Hebrew pronunciation of an imperial name, Caesar, or Kaiser, Nero, the same as the phrase number of the beast. However, it has been proven to be patently false, as the term commonly referred to Rome itself and not any one individual, royal or otherwise. Taking the name Nero Claudius Caesar Augustus Germanicus, upon her accession to the imperial throne, she was fifth emperor of the Roman Empire and last of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, who had ruled Rome since its inception. The daughter of the cousin of the fourth emperor Claudius, she was put on the throne at the age of 17 as a result of the devious scheming and possible matricide by her mother, Julia Augusta Agrippina. Whew. Once on the throne, she immediately began to demonstrate her talents at administration as well as her ability to navigate the often murky political situation inherent in the Roman government. In addition to the above, Nero was also generally acknowledged to be a consummate diplomat who preferred discussion and compromise to warfare and conflict. She was especially in high esteem by both peoples of Britannia and the leaders of the nations of Persia, who continued to refer to Rome as the country of Nero long after her death. While popular abroad with the lower caste at home, the Senate and higher caste members of the empire grew wary of her populist policies, extravagant expenditures on public entertainment, and occasionally irrational repression of religious expression. In the year 68 AD, a series of revolts drove Nero from the throne and eventually to suicide. It said that in her final hours she continuously expressed her anguish as an artist, that an artist such as herself had to die, but as those who betrayed her, closing that she quoted a line from Homer's Iliad, "Hark now strikes on my ear the trampling of the swift-footed coursiers," and then drove a dagger into her throat.